I've tried to suppress or hide is a talent that could help me meet the wizard. Once I'm with the wizard, my whole life will change. 'Cause once you're with the wizard, no one thinks you're strange. No father is not proud of you. No sister acts ashamed. And all of us has to love you. When by the wizard you're acclaimed. And true, the vision's hazy, but I swear someday there'll be a celebration throughout us. That's all to do with me. Hi guys, MsRheyRhey here. Sorry about my musical outburst in the beginning. I love the musical Wicked. It's actually what got me started in loving musicals, really. But if you haven't guessed by now, today in our first book review, I will be reviewing Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. First of all, I want to say that when I first saw this book, I loved the cover because you see right here that it's the Wicked Witch of the West as she's normally or popularly portrayed in mainstream society. But then you open the cover and you see, in essence, the true story of who she really is. And I've noticed, researching Gregory Maguire, that is a very popular theme he has. If you don't know him, you should check out his other books like Mirror, Mirror, which is his version of Snow White, or The Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister, which is a Cinderella story, if you haven't guessed. But it's from, they say, obviously the stepsister's point of view. Got my book again. I have to write down everything or I'm going to forget. I wrote down instructions for me to do. I'm that much of a nerd. But, yeah, overall, this book, it is a page turner, absolutely. But, I really loved this book. And a little personal history, this is actually something that I read a long time ago, my sophomore year of high school. And that's when I was just starting to get into reading series again, because I used to love to read as a little kid. I learned before I even got into school, but then, you know, growing up, you didn't have much time. I didn't have much time to read and things like that, and I got back into reading junior high with a book called The Life of Simon Gray or something. I'll look it up again and maybe I'll do a review about it in the future. But that got me started on reading again, but then it was kind of slow, and then this book is actually got me really, really into it. So overall, I love this book. It's something that I've never really come across in stories before. This was a first for me. It was very thought out, and there are real life consequences and real life challenges in this. It's not just, it's fairy tale. This is the most real fictional story I have read so far. Even with John Green. I love his books. I have a collection. But in those terms, yes, they're real and there's real life consequences. Fault in Our Stars is very real. But when it comes to a fictional world, a world that everyone knows and has a very, what's the word? Everyone pretty much has the same perspective on this world and who these people are. And this just turned it upside down, and I loved that concept, and I often try to find books like that. It's just generally altogether a really good story. I don't want to get into too much details right now, but obviously it's from the perspective of the Wicked Witch of the West, or in here she's known as Alphaba, and it starts even before her lifetime. It starts with her parents and how she came to be, and it just kind of follows her life by then. As if anyone has seen the musical, she was born completely different, and even her, well, I don't know, I'm not going to get into that because that's specifics, generally specifics, yeah. But she's been different from day one, and instead of hiding from it or really like super embracing it like you see some people do, saying, oh hey, I'm different, look at me, she kind of just wants to live her life. And because of her uniqueness and her perspective of it, she is very firm in her beliefs, and that is kind of what people misconstrue in this book as her being stubborn. And she obviously, because she's the heroine of this story, she gets into situations and people only see it from the glamored perspective. And of course, Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, I believe, or something, is in here, and she actually plays a very important role in this book. And I can't get into too much detail without giving stuff away, and I'm trying not to give you guys spoilers, but obviously from my singing earlier, you really can't think of this book nowadays without thinking of the musical. And at first, I heard about this book because of the musical, yes, but to me, these are just two separate individuals that happen to share the same face. I mean, obviously there are similarities, and obvious similarities. The musical was based off of the book, but there were a lot of things they changed in the musical, and a lot of things they kept. You get what I'm saying. Overall, I can't help but compare and contrast, and that's kind of what I wanted to do with you guys. That they're general comparisons. There's not really like two specific characters or anything like that. But one the musical got dark, but kind of like turn off the lights dark. Not really dark as in the book got. The book got, you know, trapped in an alley in New York, and Spider-Man's not going to come and save you, kind of dark. And, you know, that really surprised me. And normally I try to stay away from books that have like heavy political or religious standpoints in it. But this, like I said, it got me turning page by page, because it's not like the book was saying that, oh, this is the one good one and this is the one bad and these are all the other bad ones. It basically gave you an overall of each religion that was mentioned in here, or any political side, and the politics of politics and religion mixing, and the mess of it all, pretty much. Another thing, I mean, it's obvious when I'm comparing and contrasting these, but like I said, the book gets real in depth, and it's like the most real fictional world I have yet to read. It's in its own world. There's real life consequences to every single action you do. It's not the butterfly effect, it's real life. But she can choose, this isn't a scene in the book or anything, but Elphaba could choose to go to the beach, and that would drastically affect the story. Or she could choose to, go to the beach, but not really participate with her friends in there, and that would just completely go in a different way. Or she could just choose to stay home and drink tea and read books, and that would just flip the world upside down, because every single action that any of these characters have in this book basically determines the fate of us. And you can't help but just be in awe on how it all unfolds, and tries to refold and crumples itself up into a little ball and throws itself into the trash and misses, and then you have to go pick it up and just smash it into the trash can because you got frustrated. But where was I going with this? Oh, book. That was with the book. And then with the musical, okay. Again, I have to say, I love the musical. It's just wonderful, and it makes me laugh, and it makes me cry, and everything. And it sounds like I'm bashing it because it's not as good as the book, but nothing's going to be as good as the book. And, well, I don't know. Maybe in this one aspect the musical was better in the book, just for, personally for me, because consequences there still happened, and it was still because, they chose this one certain path and everything. But I felt it was a little lighter, like I said, is because they didn't want it to be as dark as the books. And I just, personally for me, I don't feel like the characters should have been tormented. That's because I loved them so much, but I didn't want them to be tormented as much in the book. Kind of like they had I didn't want them to be tormented as much as they were in the book. So that's kind of what made me feel better about the musical, because everyone lives, Rose. Everyone lives. Just this once. And if you decide to read this book, you're probably going to cry at the end like I was. I was a sobbing mess, and that doesn't happen to me a lot. And overall, in the end of it, both the book and the musical pretty much have the same message, and I feel that is just wonderful. And it is basically, if you're in the shoes of Elphaba, it's don't be afraid of who you are, and just be yourself, and because you are awesome. And don't let anyone tell you what to do just because they have this perspective of you. And don't conform, or, the opposite of conform for people because they see you this way. Don't try to accommodate them. Don't try to push them down and say, hey, this is me, get over it. But, try to live your life for you and what you believe, and if people don't like that, then they don't deserve to be in your life. Anyway, besides the you do you message that it has, simplifying it, is the fact that in the book, because of these terrible things that are happening to her and everyone's blaming her, she's starting to, well, no, that's getting too specific, but because of everything, by the end of it, she is pretty much just, no. By the end of the book, she's almost floored with Dorothy, because that's how the book ends, is around the movie is, okay, I'll this one little spoiler for you guys. It's where Dorothy, and she's in the tower and she's talking to the witch, and the witch is going ballistic because of spoilers, but she was just, all Dorothy wants, well, okay, no, let me restart. By the end of the book, around the movie time, it's Dorothy and Elphaba up in the tower, and Elphaba's going crazy. She was like, you were sent by the wizard to kill me. Aren't you going to kill me? Blah, the spastic, crazy going, and she already has everything played out in her mind, and Dorothy is just there, wide-eyed, and she's like, no, I didn't, that's what the wizard sent me to do, but that's not what I came here to do. I dropped a house on your sister, and all I came here is for you to please forgive me. And Elphaba is just floored with this, because out of all the bad things that she has done up to this point, and all that she's been all that she's asked to be forgiven for, and no one has done it because of what they've seen of her, but not actually known of her. And she hasn't gotten forgiveness, but this one little insolent, stupid kid in her view is asking her for forgiveness for something that she knows wasn't her fault. And it's almost like she is, well, I mean, we all know how it ends, basically, is that she dies because of water splashing on her and everything. But like just before that moment, she's getting back to her calm state because of all the hype that came in from Dorothy coming in, and she was like, oh my god, like she had this epiphany moment, and I really feel that she shouldn't have died. Dear Lord, that's the one. I'm not getting too emotional right now, but yeah, it's forgiveness, and in the end, overall in the end, with every character, not just Elphaba's perspective, it's, you know, stand by your morals. Like I said, you be you, girl, or boy, human, however you identify. And, you know, just because people disagree with you and they think you should conform to them, that doesn't mean they're right, but it doesn't mean you're right either, but that doesn't mean you're wrong either, if you understood that at all. And it's just it's a really good book, okay? Stop having me talk about it and go read it. It's on sale everywhere. Like, you can get it digital, you can get it at Barnes & Nobles, you can get it Amazon. Go get the book and quit having me babble and, you know, mumble, because I'm pretty sure I've been mumbling every once in a while. This is a series. It's the series is called The Wicked Years. It is a saga because more than 3 is a saga. But there's only 4 books. There is the original Wicked, there is Son of a Witch, A Lion Among Men, and then I just realized that the 4th and last book is out. Okay, so, and the last book from the saga or in the saga, is called Out of Oz. And I have not read that book yet because I heard about it years ago and I was excited for it, but then I kind of, real life entered, and that's always stupid, but never go there. But I just realized it is out and public, so I will be getting that super soon. But I do recommend reading the second and third one and fourth one, even though I haven't read that one yet, as well as the first one. You should always get the books all in a series and just go through the story. Well, don't just go through it. I mean, have the adventure with them. And it's always so much fun. You get to see their world, you get to escape yours for a while. It's a nice little mind vacation. And that's the end of my list. Okay. Yay! Lists make everything easier. So, there's my review. It's been 30 minutes and it's very long-winded, and I'm definitely gonna edit this out so much. So much. Okay, you guys. There's my first book review. If you guys liked it or didn't like it, tell me in the comments what I did wrong or what I'm doing right. I'd love feedback. If you liked this video, then like it. If you didn't, then why are you still watching? Since I haven't really gotten a lot of feedback from you from my first video, because it's only been 2 days and I'm a nobody. So what I'll be doing next is doing Son of a Witch, the sequel, because like I said, it's always good to finish a series. Okay, you guys, that was my first I already did the stuff like that. Why are endings so hard? I mean, if you guys still want to join me on my journey, if you haven't seen the first video from watching this one, or vice versa, or whatever, then join me if you want to. I'm not going to force you into anything. I'm not a slave driver. I'm, just a girl in her room talking to a camera, trying to be as social as possible without being social. Anyway, guys, this has been really fun. I've never been this excited talking to myself before. Thank you for not thinking I'm crazy, or maybe I want you to think I'm crazy. You don't know. But, okay guys, I will see you next week. Have a wonderful life. Okay, they're gone, right? Okay, yes. Okay, welcome to the second part. Not really going to be a second part, probably only like 5 minutes or 10 something, short little. Okay, you guys, no, seriously, this book, spoilers, this is just going to be a complete synopsis. Okay, the beginning, I fucking hate her mom. Like, she is privileged bitch, and I don't like her. And she even hates Alphaba in the beginning too, just because she's green, and I was like, oh shit, this isn't my fault at all for being a whore. And then her dad is this religious minister who travels everywhere, and oh my god, and he's kind of a bigot, but I mean, like, he's cooler and everything. And then there's this guy who's traveling around, and he's a quadling. I'm not entirely sure how those differ from actual people in Oz, but he's a quadling, and he's this big guy, and he's a glass blower, and he makes Elphaba's little sphere thing that she sees into all the time, and it's just so awesome. I imagine Elphaba as like the cutest little demon child, because she's got these sharp teeth as her baby teeth, and she likes to gnaw on herself, and they need a muzzle on her. And her nanny is a freaking sass queen, even though she's like super old, and she's even like Elphaba's mom's nanny, and she's a pro nanny. Oh my god. And then it goes to Glinda, and when when they're all in college, and it's Glinda, or Linda from the musical. Oh my god, I love the musical. But anyway, guys, and it's just I love this thing. Okay, so what's his name? Fierro? Was it a Prince Fierro? I think he was just a privileged guy anyway. But Fierro is nothing like the guy in the musical. This guy in here is a big, tan, beefy guy with tattoos and piercings, and I want him, not the musical Fierro. And he's obviously the kind of like ditzy airhead as in the musical, but oh my god, he grows up quicker than in the musical. He doesn't have to be an adult first, and then Elphaba doesn't even like him in college years, and Scarves. Oh my god, you guys, those who have read the book Scarves, that's another thing I really liked about this book too, is that any sex in here, I actually had to reread like the next year after I got done reading this one, and then I read it again, and I was like, oh, they're talking about sex. That's creative. And then I was just like, oh my god, you guys, and then, oh my god. And then I remember when I was reading in here, there was like parts I was like, oh, this is from this song. Oh, no, this is from this song. I was like, oh. And then, I mean, Dr. Dillon, man, he was just, I mean, okay, there is a picture of him in here. Where is it? There, look at Dr. Dillon. Oh my god, you guys, look at Dr. Dillon. He's so cute. He for a grown goat man, he is adorable. And he couldn't speak anymore. And then Bach, and God, Glinda's such a bitch in the beginning. I really had a big. Okay. I read the book and then I watched the musical, but I knew about the musical first. And my God, you guys, I had a really hard time liking Glinda in the musical because of this book, and I was just like, or maybe it was the other way around. I can't remember. But you guys, then she runs away, and then it turns out Fierro's already married, and then that castle that she lives in is his wife and sister's. And then it turns out she has a kid, and she's like, I don't remember having a kid, but then because she was in a coma for like 9 months, and I was like, oh my god. And then one thing I hated was that they didn't use the clock and the time dragon thing in here. What? They used it way too little in the musical. Like, I think they did it once, and then it was like that little mantle chandelier piece above the stage as like a reference to it, and I was like, no, you need to use the time clock dragon, and that will be awesome. And I was like, oh my god. And then Dorothy, I kind of stopped liking her because I got it from Elphaba's perspective, and she just seemed like a ditz. And I'm just like, what are you, 12? You're probably 12. Why are you even here? You should have just listened to your bitchy Auntie M. And I was like, oh my god, why are you here? And then there are characters in here that I didn't mention anywhere, and that's because I kind of forgot their names, but it was like, one was a something and Tibbet. God, where is it? I don't know. There's Bach, but he's in both the musical and there. MsRheyRhey is a bitch, no matter book or musical. Like, oh my god. But I didn't like it, because in the musical, she had both her hands and feet, and in the book, she was a snake. She was like, okay, no. She was just a snake, basically, and it even says, oh, she looks like a snake, Wicked Witch of the East, because she learned magic, but she learned it badly. And, God, where is it? It's in City of Emeralds. Where am I? I'm in the middle where they're still having that affair. Where is... This is gonna drive me crazy. I will find it, and I will put it in the little description thingy. But, oh my god, you guys. I think one guy got raped by a tiger. I haven't let it go. That was horrible. and confusing, and I reread it up to a certain part, but I think that part I either didn't get to, or I skipped or something. Well, actually, I probably just didn't get to because I got like right here rereading it, and it's probably like somewhere in here, and gosh. And I mean, in the book, I don't think she's nearly as respectful to her father as, as she is in the musical, because in the What Is This Feeling song, it sounds like she has to be very respectful of her father, and I get that, because you should be respectful to your father. You don't have to agree with him, but you should be respectful of him. And, well, I mean, unless he's a douchebag and he, like, beats on you and stuff, then he shouldn't even be around you. And it's just, like, Elphaba is, strangely, the only normal one in her entire family, and I think that's awesome. But no, like, and it's funny because her little sass queen of a nanny in the beginning is there until the very end of the book, like, not with her physically the entire time, but she's alive, and she was already 50 in the beginning of the book, and she's just like over 100 years old by the end of it, and she just kicks her down the stairs to make sure the Lion and the Tin Men don't get to her, and I'm just like, oh my god, Elphaba, I know you're crazy, but come on, that's an old lady, and you just tell her to get back up after you kick her down the stairs. Oh my god. Okay, I'm rambling enough, and I probably confused you if you haven't read the book, and I probably scared you to not reading the book, because this is only going to be in the spoiler one. But, oh my god, you guys, you need to read this book. It's really dark, and I shouldn't be laughing about any of this, but my excitedness has gone into my brain, and I'm kind of just like giddy right now. And oh my god, Fiyero. I mean, it doesn't tell you that he dies, and in the musical they say, oh yeah, he turned into the Scarecrow, and even Elphaba in here, she was like, oh hey, do you happen to be that my boyfriend that I was the mistress of, and he was like a clodling prince or something, and I was just like, are you? Because you never answered, and you don't seem to have an actual brain. Maybe they took it from you, and that's why you're a scarecrow. Like, you can't remember. But I was just like, and then the lion is actually the lion cub that she saved in college, because they were like treating him badly and experimenting on him, and I'm just like, why are you such a pussy? Well, because you're a cat. I swear I'm not high or on alcohol tomorrow. Oh my god, okay, you guys, that's enough excitement for me for one night. I put this back on my shelf because I'm done reviewing it. You guys who wanted this spoiler video, seriously, go buy this book. I understand that it's really dark and scary at certain parts, and this is definitely not for children. I certainly shouldn't have been reading it at the age of 15, but, you know, I'm a girl. Girls mature faster than boys. Or just, you know, me in particular, maybe. But, well, I think maybe if you're a mature teenager and you're not like, oh my god, selfie, oh my god, nails, oh my god, makeup is the best thing in the world. I mean, I'm sorry if you are watching this and that's how you are,